Brian Cox. I'm here with Cosmin, Stejerean. Am I saying that right? Stejerean. And Cosmin's a very strong member with Southern Med Off-Road Recovery. We've done some recoveries together. And when did you join?
Almost 2 years ago.
2 years ago. Okay.
Yeah.
You got 6 months on it.
Yeah, I think so.
So we're going to review Cosmin's Jeep, and I'm kind of feeling a kinship because it has some similarities to mine, and we're going to do mine next week. What year Jeep we got, and what's the exact model?
Sure, it's a 2020 Wrangler Rubicon 4-door. So Wrangler Unlimited.
Now, a few things I can tell right away. You got, this is stock bumper with the stock bar.
Yeah, the bar didn't come with the Jeep, but it's a stock accessory for it. Right. And I really like the steel bumpers on this Jeep. I had the same steel bumpers on my last Jeep. It's really good for putting a winch in there, and I figured save money having to buy an extra whole bumper.
You've got Mopar lights. This is the 5-inch?
These are the 7, and I got the 5 on the pillar. Gotcha.
And tell us about your winch.
Sure. This is the Smedebuilt XRC Gen 3. What I like about the Gen 3, actually maybe I can show you later on the cable, it has a built-in load indicator on the winch controller. So if you're putting too much load on the winch, the light go from green, yellow to red to let you know you're overworking the winch, and you can pull it off. So that's pretty nice. What I don't like about it is it doesn't have a wireless remote. Out here, some of the recoveries we do, that would really come in handy. So if I do it again, I might go for the X2O to get a wireless remote, but I really like the load indicators.
Now, does that warn you off heavy pulls at all?
No,
or have you been able to estimate within the range it really didn't impact you?
No, I never really have to push it too much, but sometimes when I had to I was kind of wondering, like, is it too much? Are we doing it too hard? When I'm seeing that it's staying in the green, I don't have to worry about it as much. I don't have to give it a rest as often if I know that it's not really being loaded at all. Whereas if I didn't really know, I might be on this side of caution and let it rest a little bit more frequently.
Gotcha. Cosmin, what's going on?
So my rig is almost always dirty. When I used to live up in Washington, I could take care of just letting the rain wash it about once a week or so. Since I moved down here, I do every once in a while have to wash it. But we have a little superstition in SNORR that as soon as you wash your rig, it's going to immediately trigger several recoveries, especially out of the lake when it's all nice and muddy. So it's a general rule of thumb. I didn't want to attempt the recovery gods today, so I figured I better leave it as is.
And when you see my rig, it won't be clean either. Okay, it's great. I like the front end. And the only really thing you did is it's a stub you took off. You unscrewed the outer edges of the bumper.
I did, yeah. And actually, I did this yesterday. I was running a trail. Exactly, that's why it looks so off, and I didn't have a chance to put the little screws back on for later. We were running a trail out at Devil's Peak, and it has this really nasty waterfall to climb up on it, and I wanted to get a little bit more clearance getting with my tires up on it.
Yeah.
So I just took those off literally yesterday on the trail.
I really like the factory bumper. Like it's a very solid bumper. I've been backed into twice with my bumper, and it's the same steel. And when you go to get a bumper with a new rig, you can pay a couple $1,000s, but this comes with as a Jeep option, I think $200 or $300.
Yeah, I'm not even sure. All the Jeeps I bought had this. My previous one had the same thing.
Yeah.
I just looked for this as one of the options that I want on it. I knew I wanted the LED lights, I wanted the steel bumper, so I just looked for one that had everything I wanted on it.
It comes all ready to go to drop the winch in.
Yep. It's a little bit of a tight fit. The XRC Gen 3 has this little armor plating around it, which made it a little tight in there, but I got it in.
Well, I guess the trade-off is it's protected, but if you needed to change out the rope, you really can't do it without a lot of work.
Yeah, you're gonna have to drop the bumper to do that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, although the armor is removable, so I could take it off, but I figured I'll leave it on there just in case I ever.
So the top comes off just like it would a worn winch.
Yeah. The control box can also be relocated somewhere else.
Okay.
Yeah, but nice. Easy to drop the bumper.
Now coming around, what do we got here with the wheels and the lift?
Sure. So I got the Mopar 2-inch lift. I had the dealership install it around when I bought it, so it's nice and covered by the warranty directly from the dealership. And these are the KO2 tires in 37s. I really like the KO2s. A lot of people don't seem to like them. What I really like about them is that they do really good on icy conditions when it gets really slick up on the mountain. We've been on several recoveries where people said the chains are required. I do carry chains with me just in case. Haven't had to use them yet. They do really good on slick icy stuff.
Now, did you re-gear?
I did not. I really should. And that's one of the things I'm going to try to do next, because I do feel it on the highway,
Okay.
especially when I'm kind of climbing up, going up towards St. George.
Yeah.
I feel not quite having enough throttle response there. But it hasn't been very high on the priority list, given how expensive and backordered everything's been.
Right. Now what do we got here?
So this is the antenna. I have two radios. I got a GMRS radio over there, and it's my ham radio over here. This is the Comet 2x2 antenna, which is tuned to work both on ham frequencies as well as GMRS and commercial band stuff. It's designed for search and rescue, and I think it's a really good antenna.
Is this from your time in Washington?
Yep, Timber Tamers is the off-roading club. I was a member of back in Washington. I learned a lot from those guys. That's when I first got into off-roading. Still.
Was that a trail group or a recovery group only, or?
No, this was the trail group. We also had a recovery group in Washington called WARN, the Washington Off-Road Recovery Network.
Right.
That I was volunteering with, but this is just a off-roading group.
Nice. Now tell me about the rock rails.
Sure. These I added. I think they're from Ace Engineering. What I liked about them is that they mount over the Ruby rails. I wanted to keep the Ruby rails because I think they add a lot in terms of.
You got two rock rails.
Exactly.
This is the stock.
Yep.
And then you added this. Now why two rock rails?
Well, I really like the stock ones. Just because they add a lot of protection over to the side. I've had somebody literally crash into the side of my previous Jeep, and my Jeep was totally fine and theirs was not. So I like that this kind of goes over and around it.
Right.
I've put these things on rocks. You can see they're all kind of scratched up. I can pivot around it, etc. But if I ever take anything heavy on the side, I like that they have both here. And they don't mount to here. These ones mount underneath to the frame, and these ones mount up here. So they're really two different points.
Right.
Very reinforced.
Yeah. I like you're sporting the group.
Absolutely.
And we have here, what can you mount here?
This is designed for mounting rotopacks primarily.
Okay.
Can use to mount other kind of accessories. Honestly, what I've really liked them so far is mostly to protect the back windows. Every once in a while I'm not paying attention, I'm back into a tree, you'll see the damage on my fender on the other side. And I just like that even when I'm not carrying anything on there, that just kind of protects the back window.
Nice.
Sure. So I got the 67 design mounting arms to hold the ham radio, the inReach, and I can also put my phone up there, although with CarPlay, I just use the built-in navigation system for on-X when I'm off-road.
Nice. And you find it holds everything in a good place?
Yeah, it does a really good job. Usually everything on it stays where it's supposed to. Sometimes I actually use it to record video from my phone. I'll put my phone up in here, and then kind of record up. You can see the mounting arm a little bit in the frame, but it gives it a nice look.
And you just install that yourself?
Yeah, it mounts it really easily. So it has this little base that drops into this little nook over here. There's a little rubber mat. It comes out. Cut the edges off of it so it can fit back in. Put a couple screws in. It goes in. What I did when I did this though is because the windshield can be dropped, I disconnect everything. I just moved the windshield back a little bit, just to have a little bit more room to get into it. I put the windshield right back.
Nice. Okay. Now I just noticed I didn't talk about the roof rack. Do you like it?
I do. Although there's some things I don't like, which is that it kind of eats some of the clearance, and a lot of the parking lots around here are a little bit tight.
Okay.
So if I actually put any accessories on top of it, then I can't even get into the garage of my own house, which is why I frequently have to take things off. But it's really good for carrying traction boards.
Right.
That's really good. Mounting lights. Sometimes I have the lights up there. I took them off a little while ago. I just don't like that I can't really get into a garage as soon as I put
And how
anything
did
on
this
top.
install? How did you have to drill into the top to install this?
Yeah, this one I had professionally done at an off-road shop up in Washington because it doesn't involve drilling, and I'll show you when we get to the back. There's a backbone system that connects from the back over here into the body of the Jeep over here, so it's not holding the weight on the fiberglass top. It's actually connecting directly through those inner backbone system over there, so it can hold a lot of weight.
Nice.
I can go camping if I want to do. It can hold my weight up there.
Right.
It's not for 900 pounds, something like that. So it's really solid and sturdy, and it can be quick removed if I really need the clearance for anything. But usually without any gear on top is perfectly fine.
Nice. And I just noticed your fenders. These are not stock.
These are not stock. No, I actually tore off one of the stock fenders on one of the recoveries. We were on a recovery out at CC Springs and trying to get turned around to come back
I know
out.
exactly where that is.
Managed to rip a fender off of the back on the other side. So at that point I knew I wanted to get some new fenders in. What I like about these Paramount fenders is that they're really solid, real sturdy.
Yeah.
I can put the weight on the Jeep on it. Yesterday when I was on some of the trails that I kind of mentioned, I could literally kind of lean up against a rock and it can hold the weight of the Jeep. they're not indestructible. You see on the other side. One time I did hit a rock going about 30 miles an hour, and that was not pretty. But otherwise, they're really sturdy. Yeah, they do add a little bit of weight, which I don't love. I would love to have some aluminum ones like it.
Right.
But this was kind of the best compromise I could find.
Nice.
And I thought about maybe painting them to match the Jeep, kind of white on white, like what I used to have. But I think the black on white looks real nice.
With that, Cosmin, we know you're going to rip these off too.
Funny you should mention it. We'll go around and I'll show you exactly.
You know, I don't know if you want to start painting. You know, hey, look, you're a great driver, I know. But
I mean,
it's
you joke, but I literally did do it. So
now this is not stock. What do you got here?
No, these actually have been a while since I bought these. I forgot the exact brand. But yeah, they kind of mount over the taillights over here and also provide some reinforcement again for backing up into rocks, into trees, into whatever. I've seen a lot of people smash these, and the LED ones are expensive.
Very clean.
So it really does help.
Yeah. Now let's. This is a recovery rig. Let's see what you carry as far as recovery goes.
Sure. Take a look. Got enough light back here. So I do have my trusty compressor so I can air it back up.
Nice. ARB twin.
Yeah, ARB twin.
It's kind of the standard, I think. I know there's other compressors out there, but yeah, okay, that's really nice. You got the little 1 pound tank.
Yeah, it honestly, it doesn't help as much these days as it used to help. Right. What I loved about this, and I'm airing up one tire at a time, is when you're disconnecting and going to the next one, it fills up and kind of cuts on the time. But these days I use a Morflate 4-way tire inflation system.
Nice.
I won't unwind this, but just to kind of see what it looks like. It connects to all 4 tires at the same time. I plug it in and let it go. So the extra tank doesn't really add much.
Yeah.
But you know, I've had this for 5 years at this point. Hasn't done me wrong yet, and it's really come in handy over the years.
Yeah.
So that's for the compressor. And actually, funny you should mention, this is my backup compressor. I do have a mounted compressor in the Jeep itself, and I tucked it right back here.
Okay.
As you can see.
Nice. But 2 compressors. I like it.
Yeah. What happened is after one of the recoveries or something, I think something got a little bit loose on the wiring, and now the switch isn't turning on. So I got my backup compressors I usually keep in the truck.
Nice.
Until I can figure out the wiring again.
Nice.
Okay, so recovery gear. I have my recovery bag over here with most of the basic stuff.
Got your bubble rope, your kinetic rope, you got soft shackle.
Soft shackle, yeah. So this one looks like a kinetic rope, but actually isn't. It is from Bubble Rope.
Oh, okay.
No, this is a...
Oh, very short.
10 foot. They call it a utility rope. I usually use it frequently as a tree saver, use it to get a bridle for hooking up to something.
Nice.
It's just one of the most versatile things in the kit. I frequently would just kind of like put it around.
Where's the kit from?
From Bubba Rope as well. Okay. And I do have the Bubba Rope itself tucked in somewhere up here.
Nice.
This is the little one for the Jeep, and I got a bigger one in the truck as well. But honestly, as you can see, I haven't actually used this since I bought it. I got it because people said you gotta have it. You gotta have it. A snatch rope for what we do out here, but I love using the winch. I think the winch gives you so much more control rather than yanking on stuff. I just prefer to put some line on it and then just go nice and slow with the winch. So I do have it in case I ever need it. Haven't needed it yet.
I like your shelf here.
Yeah, this is from Vector Off-Road. In the Jeep, you never quite have enough cargo space. At least it certainly feels that way to me, even unless it's well organized. So I like to just get a lot of the stuff that I don't use that frequently up out of the way, like the bubble rope over here, which I don't usually use. I got some ropes, I got axes, I got all kinds of stuff that I just need to have it around, and it just kind of up and out of the way.
You got some blood on that axe? Just kidding.
This actually, I don't know if you want to cover this in your rig review, but I'll tell you what I like about this. This is a Smeatonbuilt trail axe.
like an ice axe.
Yeah, and what it's really handy for actually is this little bit right over here.
Oh, like a wrench.
Yeah, what it's designed to do is designed to get these guys off. Put it around, and then you can apply tension on it to get it out. Because if you put one of these things in, like this one, and you tighten it all the way, and you start to put tension on it, it can get stuck. So this is designed to really quickly get out of the way, and that's why I carry this with me.
Nice. Yep. I like it. I like it, Cosmin. You got a great rig. I know it's been put to good use.
Absolutely. Yeah, the basic stuff. I mean, you know, the normal tow strap for towing things. You can never have
rope. You got the AEV, right?
Yeah, this is the AEV.
That's a nice one.
Snatch block, and then I also have one of these snatch blocks for use with the D-ring. And I did mention you can never have enough snatch blocks. I do have the X-lock.
X-lock,
Yeah, and somewhere in here, I should actually, maybe it might be a matter of rig. I do also have safe extract pulley as well, but it might be in my truck at the moment.
Gotcha, gotcha. Absolutely. Now you notice you got a little shelf over here.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
This is also from Vector, like the other shelf. I use this a lot, mostly if I'm out trailing.
Nice.
To eat. We can also set something up over here really quickly.
Right.
But usually this is where I have my lunch.
Cosmin, great rig.
Thank you.
I appreciate you sharing it with us. And it's been great recovering with you. We hope to have many more.
Thank
we
you.
don't want you to get stuck, but you know, if you do, we'll come help you out.
Thank you.